Hello, how are you? In this video we will see how to extract pure aluminum from aluminum sulfate. Thank you for clicking on this video, it is presented to you by Question Answer. Thanks to Dieter Neth, Franklin Veaux, Christopher Bloom and Ian H. Lester for sharing their views on this question. Let's go for Dieter Neth's first answer.
Aluminum sulfate is not really abundant in nature, that is why bauxite is usually employed. This is a mix of several aluminum hydroxides and oxides, and it's abundant. If you have aluminum sulfate, you could try to add sodium hydroxide in a watery solution, which will make the aluminum to precipitate out of solution as a hydroxide oxide compound. Make aluminum out of that via electrolyzing a molten solution of aluminum oxide in Cryolite, a fluorine compound. Use cheap, renewable electricity. Gas-powered power plants are sort of pricey these days. That is not a frightening process, give me a break. Breaking Bad is mostly pure fiction. There is an aluminum factory in densely populated Switzerland. It's not that hard to keep hydrofluoric acid fumes under control, but no, I would not want to do it in my basement either. The main issue is that it uses a lot of electricity. Maybe you could draw enough from a Tesla charging station, otherwise the wiring in residential areas would be too weak to make aluminum there. As an alternative, you can make aluminum the old-fashioned way using pure sodium or potassium metal to reduce it that way. Hans Christian Ørsted, the scientist who discovered metallic aluminum, used potassium amalgam to reduce aluminum chloride. Potassium amalgam is obtained when electrolyzing a solution of potassium chloride on a mercury cathode. In this case, potassium is obtained instead of hydrogen and gets dissolved in the mercury. This is the common way to produce potassium hydroxide, just add water to the amalgam, which is not at all dangerous. The Cho. Access this answer and support the author as a Quora Plus subscriber. Access all answers reserved by Dieter Neth for Quora Plus subscribers. Access exclusive answers from thousands more participating creators in Quora Plus. Browse ad-free and support creators. Start free trial. Learn more.
We continue with Franklin Veaux's answer. You got a morbid fear of dying? If so, don't. If not, put the aluminum sulfate into a kiln. Heat it to about 800 to 900 C. The aluminum sulfate decomposes to aluminum oxide and sulfur trioxide. Figure out to do with the sulfur trioxide. It's incredibly poisonous, highly corrosive, and explodes on contact with water to form hot sulfuric acid. While you sort that out, I'll be over here in a sealed bunker with its own air supply. Okay, you've disposed of the sulfur trioxide? Good. Take the aluminum oxide, place it in a series of electrolytic pots with carbon anodes in the middle and carbon cathodes around the edge, add some cryolite, and heat it to 950 C. What is cryolite? Glad you asked. Cryolite is a compound of aluminum, fluorine, if you're starting to get worried, you should be. And sodium, at 950 C, and believe me when I say any instructions that tell you to heat any fluorine-bearing substance to 950 C should alarm you, the cryolite melts and dissolves the aluminum oxide. Add a bit of aluminum fluoride to the mix, because if there's one thing this whole bonkers process needs, it's more fluorine. Okay, now you have a bunch of pots of super hot cryolite with aluminum oxide dissolved in it. Why are they electrolytic pots? Why? Because the next step is to run electricity through this viciously hot mixture, of course. How much electricity? Oh, about 3 or 4 volts ought to do it. At 300,000 amps to 600,000 amps. The electric current will strip the oxygen off the aluminum oxide, giving you a layer of red-hot molten aluminum at the bottom of each cell. Just open a spigot on the cells and pour off your unbelievably hot aluminum. Okay, what about that oxygen you've taken off? Again, glad you asked. The oxygen combines with the carbon anode to make carbon dioxide, which bubbles away. You'll need to keep replacing the anode. So you know that more fluorine you added back in step 4? You'll need to keep adding aluminum fluoride to the mix, because, you see, the fluorine in the aluminum fluoride will tend to keep reacting with water vapor in the air and any trace impurities in your aluminum oxide and, the walls of the electrolytic pots and every other damn thing it can. Fluorine is like that under the best of circumstances, and heating it to 950 C doesn't exactly bring out its kind and gentle nature, to form hydrogen fluoride, which keeps outgassing from your pots. While you figure out how to handle that problem, I'll still be over here in this sealed bunker with its own air supply. Hydrogen fluoride tends to be a problem for aluminum smelters, which is exactly the sort of dry, factual statement that makes regulators and insurance companies sit up and take notice. Nothing about this process is anything less than deeply, deeply frightening, and I urge you to think very carefully, and make sure your affairs are in order, before you embark upon it. The following answer is from Christopher Bloom.
Yes, there is. Consider taking a look at Language Tool. Besides French, it also supports Spanish, Dutch, German and English. Language Tool not only offers advanced spelling and grammar suggestions, but also catches punctuation and style issues. Online grammar, style and spell checker. Integrates with your favorite Office program. Get the best out of your docs and deliver error-free results. No matter whether you're working on a dissertation, an essay, or a book, or you just want to note down something. Language Tool's grammar check for OpenOffice requires Java 8. Currently not available for the premium version. Problems installing it? Look here for help. Troubleshooting.
The following answer is from Ian H. Lester.
Smelt it at 900-1000 C mixed with cryolite. The sulfate decomposes to the oxide and SO3 at 900 C. The oxide melts at this temperature when mixed with cryolite. It can then be dissociated into metal and oxygen by electrolysis. Don't try it at home.
This is the end of the video. I hope you have more answers. If you found the answer you were looking for, please leave a like and subscribe, it would help us a lot. Here is the end of the video. Leave a comment to tell us if these answers are more useful to you. See you soon.